everybody, welcome back to Dream Garage. Today is a big progress day because the Cadillac is getting picked up right now, and we are going to be heading to Chris Latello's shop, dropping the car off so he can get started, see if there's any way to save the current state of the motor, or if we need to remachine it, make it look like brand new again and drive like brand new again. So he just pulled up. I'm going to get some footage of the car getting on the flatbed, and then the journey to Chris Latello's. Well, we got her on the road, flat tire, had to change a fuse. Not been an easy process, but she's on the road. Now we are loading her up as we speak. So excited for this not to be the case anymore, to say the least. This is frustrating. But she looks dirty, she looks in bad shape, but I promise you guys that this car is going to turn out to be a dime piece. Glass top's going to be fixed. Figured out a solution to our audio problem, so we're getting her done. Talk about nerve-wracking. Okay, she's in park. All right, guys, we are officially on the road to get to Lynn, to Chris Latello's house and garage, and finally get some progress made. I'm a little concerned about the front end based on the tires flat. Now, when we first picked this car up from Nick, who again, if you're ever wanting somebody to do a custom job like this and you're in our area, you need to hit up Nick Woodring from Mutiny F&B. He has answered every time I've called him. And when I got up this morning, the battery was dead. It was a bad, actually. So I went out and bought another battery. We had to drop Tiffany's car off, as I mentioned before, to get a electrical issue looked at. And so put the new battery in, and when I turned the key on, the compressor was not turning on. And so it was one of those things. I'll show you guys the car here on the wrecker. We're gonna lead him here. I love that camera. So compressor didn't come on, and the worst thing as a customer when somebody's coming, especially somebody like Jerry, who, huge shout out to Jerry Van Note. He is from Winchester. He is somebody I've known for years. He has had a little local shop for years and years and years in Winchester, and I didn't know he retired, but I know he races cars, and so rebuild on motors. Anybody that races cars has connections and has to have motors rebuilt. So I called him because I was running out of options. I had no clue who to go to and who to turn to at this point. And so I called him And I told him what was going on, and he said, Brock, I'm not rebuilding motors anymore. But he did stay on the phone with me, tried to help me, you know, maybe point me in the right direction. So I made a post on Facebook, because we're in February and this car was supposed to be ready for the event last year. It did not make it, because that's when this problem occurred. And so I put a post on Facebook and found out that Chris Latella would work on it after talking to him, which was a huge thing for me, and very appreciative and humbled by that. So, you know, I knew that at noon Jerry was going to pull up, be ready to go, and he was actually there a little bit early, but not much, 5-10 minutes early. And air compressor doesn't come on, so I called Nick and he answers just like that. So huge shout out to Nick Woodring from Mutiny F&B, and he stayed on the phone with me until we got the fuse replaced. Once the fuse was replaced, the air compressor kicked on, so we know that wasn't a major issue. It was good to go. But once we got the compressor full of air, the front end was not going up, and after we put it in neutral, the front end was not moving. It started to move a touch and it stopped, and I look under the car and the front end looks like it's on the ground, the engine. So now I'm very, very concerned, because you know, I know the engine needs rebuilt, or parts of it need rebuilt, and for that I'm understanding of, and no big deal. But, you know, for it to have a lot more issues would definitely be concerning. So found out that my tire was flat, which that tells a lot of the issue. When a car's sitting at a huge angle and then the tire's flat, that air suspension's already lifting a ton of weight. And so luckily, after we put air in it, we were able to get it up enough where we could push it out of the garage. I actually got the car to start and was able to get it down on the street in position for Jerry to get the car on the trailer, on the flatbed. So, you know, that was a big blessing that the car started, understanding it wasn't going to go very far. But that's a very frustration issue when, you know, we're sitting there and he's waiting on me, and I hate that. I hate the feeling of under pressure and I'm failing. You know, when somebody's out of retirement willing to come to help me an hour away from where he lives, he could be at home watching TV or doing something with his car, and, you know, yeah, I'm paying him, so it's not like it's a free thing. But to me, even if I'm paying you, if you're doing me a favor, I'm very appreciative, and it means a lot to me. So, you know, for him to come over to Fisher's, pick this car up, take it back to Lynn for me, and help me out, it means a lot. And that just goes to tell our small community and how many people are there to help when somebody's in need, to go out of their way to do something. Big deal. So right now, like I said, we are on the road. We will be hitting Lynn in about an hour. I'm actually going to go ahead and call Chris to let him know that we are on the road. And then that way he can be prepared for us. We'll get the car off the flatbed. I'll help him wherever it needs to go for now. And then it's kind of the waiting game from there. Whenever he can get to it, to start looking at it, determine if it needs a full pull out, rebuild, or if there's something that he thinks can be fixed still in the housing. So we'll have to see. He also has to see what parts availability are, and that's another thing we don't know. I mean, it's a 500, it is a niche motor, but at the same time, I think there's enough of them out there. There should be parts out there that we should be able to get. So hoping for a fast turnaround here. I do think that we are going to do a lot of the audio ourselves. As I mentioned, when the Cadillac broke down, that we had a really bad customer service experience with a audio guy who knew that the car was not working properly. He knew the top was not working, and he still takes the car to his house or his garage and then waits a week and then tells me I have 24 to 48 hours to get this car out. Very upsetting. And it goes to tell you how important the customer service really is. He should never have taken that car to a shop if he wasn't going to do the work. And so I told him that obviously he is not getting this car back because, you know, he put me in a really bad spot. And it wasn't, he knew the situation and still took it on to then refuse later. So not a good way to do business, not a way to earn a customer. And in our case, we're trying to build relationships, because what he doesn't understand, and what I hope anybody watching this, if they have a business locally or what have you, is, you know, we're ultimately wanting to do this as a business. And so, you know, until we are able to, the dream is to have in-house mechanic, in-house body shop guy, in-house, you know, everything. I'm going to have to outlet this stuff. I'm going to have to find people that will work on them. And if, you know, a guy, I don't care if a guy lives an hour away, if he's good and he's reasonable and he has good time management, I'm sending it to that guy every time. And so, you know, I only had one quote prior to Chris taking this job on, and, you know, he took it on. And so, and he's reasonable, and he's gonna be honest with me, which is a big deal. He's not gonna sugarcoat things. He's not gonna, you know, fluff it in any way. So that means a lot to me, just as much as the price point and time frame. So you guys will see the car getting dropped off. Unfortunately, we're gonna have too much shot of it on the trailer right now because I'm in front, I'm leading the way. So we are currently en route, and we will see you guys when we get there. This is the fun part. Now we got to start her again to get her over to the parking spot where they want us to leave it. And we're gonna go in here and talk to Chris real quick. Have him come out, check the car out, and then we will be leaving her behind. Love that sound, don't we? She is officially at our new resting home. Now, I'm gonna let this compressor there we go. So with this car sitting for so long without touching it, definitely was a very nerve-wracking situation to get it where it is now. So as far as the car itself, we have got her parked. Front end went right up that time. Look how high it is now. Unreal. Okay, car's dropped off. Just got done talking to Chris, so he's looked at the car, and hopefully he's saying tomorrow he's hoping he can at least look at it to figure out what's wrong with it, if there's anything we can do to save it without having to do a full rebuild, or if that's a direction we have to go. So the resting place for now is going to be right here. He is going to tape up the hole in the back where the glass used to be, and on the side, because the top needs completely redone. But if it's going to stay outside, we want to at least make sure it doesn't leak in there. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so. Don't forget to keep watching videos like this on our car, because it is coming together, and it will be on the road, and it will be better than ever. So, you know, I know it's been a process, it's been a stressful thing, but we are on the lighter side of things at this point. Once the engine's fixed, I mean, this car is going to be ready to go. So if you haven't hit the like button, hit that, hit the notification bell. We will be doing our flyer for the Motor Madness event, start talking about it, and we got a lot of cool videos coming, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for all your support. Have a great day, guys.